I was reviewing tenant applications for my downtown building when my phone buzzed with a video call from my younger cousin Amy. She looked uneasy. Maya, are you seeing the family chat? I muted it 6 months ago. Why? You need to look, she said. Your mom is hosting Sunday dinner at your building, and they're planning things. I unmuted the chat. My screen filled with messages and photos from inside 842 Sterling Lofts, my 4-story mixed-use building. The ground floor retail space and the 3 residential floors above it, all mine. Purchased 2 years ago for $1.8 million through my property development company. Then I read the messages. Mom, family meeting. We've worked out how to divide the building fairly. Everyone come see your new spaces. Brother Marcus, I'm taking the 3rd floor. Corner unit has the best light for my art studio. Sister Vanessa, 2nd floor's perfect for me and the kids, close to the street entrance. Mom, your father and I will take the 4th floor penthouse. Obviously, Maya can have the ground floor retail space. She works from home anyway. She doesn't need much room. My hands tightened around my phone. Dad, we've already assigned parking spaces. Marcus gets 2 spots for his car and motorcycle. Vanessa needs 3 for her minivan and guests. Maya doesn't drive much. She can take the compact spot in the back. Aunt Linda, so generous of you all to share the family building. Maya must be thrilled to have everyone close by. Marcus, it's about time this family had a real estate presence. Maya bought it, but it belongs to all of us. Really? Family assets are family assets? I immediately called my property manager, Devin Wright, and my real estate attorney, James Park. Devin, I said, are my family members currently inside 842 Sterling? Yes, he sighed. Your mother called yesterday saying she was the building owner and needed access for a family meeting. I told her only you had authorization, but she insisted. She had keys. Keys? From where? She said you gave them to her months ago. My jaw clenched. I'd given my mother an emergency key last year after my surgery. She'd never returned it. James, I said, I need you at 842 Sterling immediately. Bring security. My family is inside my building claiming ownership and dividing it among themselves. I'm 15 minutes away, he said. Don't engage until I arrive. I grabbed my laptop and ownership documents and headed out the door. Amy texted again. They're measuring rooms and talking about renovation budgets. Your mom's giving tours. 20 minutes later, I arrived at 842 Sterling. James was already there with 2 security officers from Sentinel Property Services. Laughter echoed from the upper floors. Ready? James asked, briefcase in hand. Let's go. I unlocked the main entrance with my owner's key. Voices drifted from the 2nd floor. We climbed the stairs and found my entire family gathered in the largest unit. 15 people including my parents, siblings, aunt, uncle, and cousins. Mom had set up a buffet on folding tables. Marcus was showing people his future art studio. Vanessa's kids were running through rooms, claiming bedrooms. Mom spotted me first. Perfect timing. We're just finishing the space assignments. Come see what we've planned. Planned for what? I asked calmly. For the building division, of course, she said cheerfully. Each adult sibling gets a floor. Your father and I get the penthouse. Stop, I said. Everyone, stop what you're doing. The room went silent. Marcus turned from the window, still holding a measuring tape. Maya, don't be dramatic, he said. Mom's just organizing how we'll share the building. It's a family asset. Obviously, we're not making you homeless. You get the ground floor. This building isn't a family asset, I said evenly. It's my asset. I own it fully through Apex Property Development, LLC. James stepped forward, opening his briefcase. I'm James Park, Miss Chin's real estate attorney. These are the property records for 842 Sterling Lofts. He laid the documents on the table, scattering paper plates. Purchased 23 months ago by Apex Property Development for $1.8 million. Sole owner, Maya Chin. No co-owners, no family trust, no shared ownership structure of any kind. Dad frowned, scanning the papers. But Maya bought this with family money. When we gave her $20,000 for her business startup. You gave me $20,000 8 years ago when I started my software consulting firm, I interrupted. I paid you back with interest within 18 months. I have the canceled checks. That money has nothing to do with this building. Vanessa crossed her arms. You never said you owned an entire building. We thought you just rented somewhere. I invited you all to the grand opening 18 months ago, I said. The invitation said Apex Property Development Presents, 842 Sterling Lofts, Amy.She project. No one came. You said you had better things to do than attend my little real estate hobby event. James added, Ms.She owns 3 commercial properties and 5 residential buildings in this city. Her real estate portfolio is currently valued at $8.3 million. This building alone generates $15,000 monthly in rental income. Wait, Marcus said slowly. People are renting here? Living here? Yes, I replied. The ground floor houses a boutique coffee shop. 2 residential units are leased. The others are between tenants. And the 4th floor penthouse is my personal residence, the place you're currently trespassing. Dad's voice rose. We're family. You gave your mother keys. I gave Mom an emergency key when I had surgery, I said. For emergencies, not unauthorized entry. And definitely not for hosting family dinners where you divide up my property. One of the security officers stepped forward. Ma'am, we're prepared to escort everyone out if needed. Aunt Linda shifted uncomfortably. Maybe we should just go. This seems like a misunderstanding. It's not a misunderstanding, Mom said firmly. Maya needs to learn about family. This building is too much for one person. She's being selfish, keeping it all when we could live here together. James's tone hardened. Mrs. Chin, your daughter owns this property outright. She has legal tenants and lives here herself. You have no claim to any portion of it. Vanessa protested. Maya's always had money. The least she could do is help her family out. We have needs too. What needs? I asked. Marcus, you live in a 2-bedroom apartment you've never invited me to see. You told Mom you were between opportunities last month and needed rent money. Did she give it to you? Marcus looked away. Vanessa, you drive a brand new SUV and just got back from a week in Cancun. Your kids go to private school. Dad, you play golf 3 times a week. Mom, you redecorated your entire house last year. None of you are struggling, you just want more. And you've decided my assets should become your assets. Mom's eyes filled with tears. You have so much, Maya. Multiple buildings. Why can't you share? Because I earned it, I said quietly. I built my software consulting firm from nothing. I saved, invested, took risks and built this portfolio. Alone. None of you helped. Most of you didn't even believe I could. I opened my phone and scrolled. Here's the text from 2 years ago when I told you I was buying this building. Marcus, yeah right, Maya. You can barely afford rent. Vanessa, stop making up stories for attention. Mom, that's nice, dear. Let us know when you need real financial advice. Silence fell. Even the kids had stopped running. James laid another document on the table. This is a formal trespass notice. You are all on private property without authorization. Security will escort you out immediately. If you return without Miss Chin's written permission, you will be arrested. Dad's voice cracked. You can't be serious. We're family. Family doesn't break into each other's buildings and assign themselves apartments, I said evenly. Family doesn't dismiss each other's accomplishments and then try to claim the results as their own. Marcus stepped forward angrily. So what? You're just going to kick us all out? Embarrass us in front of everyone? I looked at my mother and shook my head. You embarrassed yourselves. You broke into my building through a party, divided up spaces you have no right to, and told the entire family you own parts of my property. I'm just correcting the record. The security officers began moving people toward the stairs. Aunt Linda gathered her things quickly, avoiding eye contact. My cousins shuffled out, murmuring. Vanessa's kids looked confused as she hurried them along. Mom stopped at the door, tears in her eyes. I can't believe you're doing this. Your own mother. I can't believe you stole my keys, broke into my building and tried to give away my property, I said quietly. Your own daughter. She left without another word. Only Marcus remained, standing in the middle of the space he'd claimed as his future art studio. I already posted on Instagram that I was moving into my new loft, he muttered. Then you should probably post a correction, I said. He glared, then slammed the door behind him. James supervised as Devon and the security team did a full sweep of the building. We found Marcus's measuring tape left behind, Vanessa's kids' toys scattered across one room, and Mom's serving dishes still sitting on the folding tables. "We're changing all locks tonight," Devon said. "Every entrance, every unit. New security system with cameras. No one gets access without your explicit approval." "Perfect. And Devon, about those emergency keys." "Already noted. No emergency keys to family members again." I should have verified her authorization. "I'm sorry." "It's not your fault," I said. She was convincing. James packed up his documents. "Maya, they may try this again. Your mother seemed genuinely convinced she had some claim to the building. Then we'll deal with it with lawyers and police if necessary." By midnight, the locksmith finished installing new locks and keypads. The security company activated cameras at every entrance. My building was finally secure again. The family group chat exploded the next morning. "Marcus, Maya had us arrested at her building over a simple family dinner. Mom, she's chosen property over family. I don't even know my own daughter anymore. Vanessa, my kids were traumatized by the security guards. Maya should be ashamed." Amy texted me privately. "For the record, nobody was arrested and the security guards were completely professional. Your family's rewriting history." I muted the chat again. 3 weeks later, Mom tried to use her old key at 842 Sterling. The new system immediately alerted me and Devon. Police arrived and issued her an official trespass warning. She told relatives I'd called the cops on my own mother over nothing. The coffee shop tenant downstairs sent me a thank you card. "We noticed the new security measures. Really appreciate you taking building safety seriously." My other tenants expressed similar relief. Apparently, Mom had already tried showing the building to friends twice before the Sunday dinner, telling people she was the property manager. 6 months later, 842 Sterling Lofts was fully occupied and profitable. The property's value had risen to $2.1 million. I refinanced and used the equity to purchase my 4th commercial property. Marcus now posts photos of his cramped apartment studio with captions like, "Stay humble. Don't sell out for material things." Vanessa tells people I'm new money with no family values. Mom sends the occasional guilt trip message about how I abandoned my family for buildings. None of them have apologized for breaking in trying to claim my property, or spreading lies about being arrested. Last week, Vanessa texted me asking if she could rent one of my residential units, at a family discount. I replied, "No. My buildings aren't family assets. They're my assets, built with my work, my money, and my risk." Because sometimes, the family that dismisses your success is the same family that tries to claim ownership once that success becomes undeniable. They can't have my floors. They never earned them. A year after the Sunday dinner incident, I received a certified letter from a law firm I didn't recognize. Inside was a lawsuit, filed by my mother and siblings, claiming they were entitled to ownership shares in 842 Sterling Lofts based on verbal family agreements and implied partnership. I forwarded it to James immediately. "This is frivolous," he said after reviewing it. "They have no documentation, no contracts, no evidence of any agreement. I'll file for dismissal." "Will it go to court?" I asked. "Probably not. They're hoping you'll settle to avoid the hassle." "Don't." I didn't. 2 months later, a judge dismissed the case entirely and ordered my family to pay my legal fees, $11,200. They were furious. Marcus called me a heartless corporate sellout. Mom sent a long email about how I'd destroyed the family over money. But something interesting happened afterward. Marcus quietly asked if I had any entry-level property management positions available. Vanessa asked for real estate investment advice. Dad mentioned he'd always been interested in commercial properties, and wondered if I needed a partner. They didn't want reconciliation. They wanted access to my success now that they couldn't steal it outright. I declined all their requests. My property portfolio now includes 6 commercial buildings and 8 residential properties across 3 cities. Annual revenue exceeds $2.3 million. I employ a staff of 12 property managers, maintenance teams, and leasing agents. Last month I was featured in a local business magazine. Amy.She, how one woman built an empire from code to real estate. The article detailed my journey from software consultant to property developer. My mother called the magazine to complain that it didn't mention family support. The editor told her they only print verified facts. I keep the property records for 842 Sterling Lofts framed in my office. A reminder that ownership means something. It's not just a name on paper. It's responsibility. Investment. My family wanted the rewards without any of those things. They hosted one Sunday dinner in my building and thought that entitled them to floors, parking spaces, and equity they never earned. But buildings don't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. I changed the locks at midnight and never looked back. Now when I walk through 842 Sterling Lofts, past the thriving coffee shop, past the happy tenants, up to my penthouse with its skyline view, I remember that Sunday dinner. I remember my family dividing up something that was never theirs. And I remember that I said no. Sometimes the most important word in business is the same one you need with family. Boundaries. I own my buildings, all of them. And no Sunday dinner will ever change that.